everyone, so today I want to be playing a bit of Dredge. We've got this nice uncommon in M21 which combos really nicely if you combine it with stuff like Creeping Chill and Tymaret Calls to Death, because if you for example have a Stitcher Supply on the field and you put a Tymaret Calls to Death onto the field, there's a high chance you will mill several of these with the 6 mill from that and also the 3 mill from the Supplier itself. And because the Stitcher Supplier is a zombie, with those two zombies you put onto the field from the Tymaret Calls to Death, then once this card's third effect triggers, you gain X life and Scry X, which is the total number of zombies, which is 3, which is enough to bring the Silversmote Ghoul down. On top of that, there's a high chance that while you are milling, you also are milling stuff like the Creeping Chills, and when you do, you will be bringing these guys back from the graveyard as well, which has another cool effect that you can kind of sacrifice these in response to this trigger and get them back at the end of the turn anyways. On top of that, just having 3/1s coming back onto the battlefield repetitively is quite strong. I was thinking to add some triomes in here, but I kind of want my land base to come into play untapped as much as I can, because I do want to curve out into something like an Unburial Rites where I can bring a big beefy creature back to the battlefield. I wanted to play 4 Craterhoof Behemoth, but my wildcard collection is quite on the low side, so I went with a replacement End-Raze Forerunners instead ×3. And I put a single Lotleth Giant in here, which will help to just deal a bunch of damage and close out the game if needed. Demonic Embrace, only 2 copies. It's a very nice aggro card. Also, it helps to dump stuff like the Unburial Rites or these big creatures into the graveyard. So in a pinch, you can cast this from the graveyard, put one of these into the graveyard, and then in the next turn you can Unburial Rites them back to the battlefield and deal a massive ton of damage. End-Raze Forerunner is already quite good because by itself it's already a 7/7 haste trample creature which deals quite a bit of damage, and in combination with stuff like those Creeping Chills, taking the opponent down 3 damage at a time, you are sometimes in a situation that just having this come back by itself is enough to close out the game. Either way, this deck is not amazing, because a lot of the stuff in this deck has 1 toughness, like this one, this one, this one. The Silversmote Ghoul also 1 toughness. Pretty much every single creature that's not one of these big beefy guys has 1 toughness, and I have run in a lot of difficulty when facing sacrifice decks which keep pinging stuff for 1 damage with the Mayhem Devil, and then your board just keeps on being cleared over and over and over without you being able to do much about it. The way that the matchmaking has been working for me is that most of my matchups has been against these sacrifice decks. It's almost like the game doesn't want these type of graveyard shenanigan decks to succeed. Another deck that I keep getting queued up against is the Core Spirit Dancer deck that is running the Hushbringer, and with a Hushbringer, all these enter the battlefield effects that we have in this deck, they do not trigger anymore, so the whole deck kind of dies right on the spot with a Hushbringer on the field. Those are the big issues right now that I don't really know how to get around. I probably need to be adding some more removal spells in here, but for the moment this is just a janky deck. I just want to have fun with it. I want to do a bit of Dredge, and we don't have a whole lot of payoffs, but hopefully the Silversmote Ghoul and the Unburial Rites is enough to really make this deck shine a bit. And I'm quite happy with the Tymaret Calls to Death since it combos so well with the Ghoul together with the Creeping Chill. So I've had a lot of fun playing this the past day or so, and I hope you will have fun with the footage as well. I will give a bit of commentary here and there what I feel about the metagame itself, especially with swarmy decks like Elves that I feel are a little bit on the unfair side when you compare it to the speed that a deck like this wants to go at, but oh well, that's just the way the state of the game is at right now. Nothing much to do about it. I think Field of the Dead was a good ban, but a lot of other things should have been banned. Moxus comes to mind, the Archdruid in the Elf deck comes to mind, and Euro definitely comes to mind. I am a strong believer that Euro just creates too much value in the current metagame, and it just keeps on pushing all these RAM decks to the top unnecessarily. I think Cultivate is where a ramp spell should be at, especially in a standard environment. I feel Euro is just a very degenerate card that should probably be banned in pretty much any format, except maybe Legacy and Vintage, but oh well, that's my opinion. Other people may think differently about that. With that said, let's just go play a bit of Dredge, have some fun, and let's see what we will be playing next time. I have a couple of decks that I want to be featuring on the channel. I kind of want to be doing a Scorpion God deck soon. I'm still working on the Dimir Mass deck, and I also have a Orzhov Zombies deck that I want to showcase on the channel. So let me know down below which deck you want to see next time. Of course, if you're a Patreon, you have exclusive voting rights, which will have priority over the comments down below. But I do keep in mind all the comments that I get on these videos, so don't be shy to comment. Actually, I love it when people comment, even if it's something simple like they liked the video, or even if they didn't like the video, so I can learn to improve these further. So please say something down below. I would be very happy if you did. Anyways, let's jump into some footage and let's go have some fun with Dredge. So let's have a look. This is definitely a keepable hand, so let's keep this. And we don't get to go first, unfortunately, but we do have some really great mill the coming turn. So one Silversmote Ghoul is already in the graveyard, which will be really good with the Tymarets later on. And this is a zombie, so this combos quite nicely together. They put this one for 3 mana, that's fine. So next we put the Glowspore Shaman onto the field. There is a Creeping Chill, and do I want a land on top? I don't think so, I think we are going to just keep on milling for the time being. We have plenty of lands in hand right now, we have plenty of black sources, so no attacks there, and we get the Silversmote Ghoul back right there as well, which is really nice. And yeah, let's wait a bit and see what's gonna happen next. This is a really nice combo. If you have a Ghoul into the graveyard, then you have a Creeping Chill kind of activates. That's a very easy way to get the Ghoul back from the graveyard as well. That's Rob of the Ridge. I'm not gonna block that. They got a Narcomoeba right there. I don't care about the Narcomoeba even a little bit, so they are fine to do that. So Tymaret calls to that, comes down, and what do we mill? We mill a bunch of stuff. Let's get rid of the other Tymaret so that we can keep our creature count in the graveyard quite nice. I will keep this one as a blocker. I don't really want to block with Stitcher's Supplier just yet, I think. And again, we have another one of these coming, so maybe I just keep both as a blocker. There's a high chance that a Embercleave is coming down now though, which is something that we can't really stop, but I hope that they do not have it. A stomp on that one, and do they attack in? They do attack in. Alright, so I will just block the robber like this, and should I block this? Can I get enough zombies on the field so I get one from this? I know I need to keep my zombies, so let's just block there and get rid of that robber, and let's see what they put onto the field next. Put the Narcomoeba down, that's not too bad, and let's see, we got a nice End-Raze in the graveyard there, and let's get rid of a Glowspore Shaman for the time being. There we go. So next turn we gain life, and they decide to scoop it. Alright, fine with me, I was just going to keep on milling. I think they kind of scooped prematurely, but we were going to start bringing those ghouls back every single turn. So let's go on to the next game. There we go, game number 2 against Cervantes. And let's have a look at our hand, if it's keepable. Let's see, we are missing green mana. We have a Stitcher Supplier, can I keep this? And we have plenty of stuff to put Onic Embrace down as well. I think it's too risky not having green land there, so I will mulligan this one. And this is a much worse hand actually, so let's mulligan again. And this one I will keep, I suppose. Yeah, let's keep this. So put this one back for the time being, and I'm tempted to put the land back. Is that the right choice? So let's just put a Godless Shrine back for now, because we can mana fix with the Glowspore Shaman next turn anyways. Put this one into play tapped, and then next turn the Glowspore Shaman can be played. I should have kept that first hand maybe, but oh well, I already mulliganed it, so no point crying over it now. And do we need a fourth land yet? Not really. I don't think we need a fourth land right now, so let's decline that for now, and yeah, put that one back onto the battlefield. So we have 2 creatures down, and I will play this next, I suppose. And again, getting a nice 3/1 ghoul onto the field is also quite nice. So let's go with this, and hopefully we can get enough zombies onto the field and be able to bring this one back later on as well, which will be quite nice. So let's do this one now then. Another ghoul in the graveyard. I will mill that one right there. So we have 2 zombies on the field now. Attack in with everything. They block there. Having so many 3/1s on the field is quite strong actually. So hopefully I can find a Stitcher Supplier so I can... Ooh, that's rough for them. I think they missed another land drop, but they are playing a very horrible deck. Oh, there is a zombie, and we got a nice creeping chill there as well. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one to put a zombie onto the field. Yes, please activate that. And yeah, I mean, I can play this one as well. They are saying good game already. And they scoop it. Alright, we won that game as well against what I assume to be some kind of a sacrifice deck. So, but I'll take that victory. As you can see, my rank tanked quite a bit. I have been rather busy making this deck somewhat compatible and somewhat competitive. It's a shame I don't have wildcards to get all the Craterhoof Behemoth, so I'm a bit behind with that. If you want to help me out to buy some packs so I can get enough wildcards, there's a donation link down in the description. It's there in case you want to help out. So let's mulligan this one, and is this better? I can put this back in the deck. It's not great, but I'll keep it. So put the Creeping Chill back, and yeah. There we go. Need a third land though. There's a land else that's not too great, but let's go ahead with this. Please don't mill lands now. Perfect, perfect. So there is a high chance that this next card is a land, considering that these 2 were both not lands and we drew a non-land. I would be highly suspicious if we don't draw a land on our 4th try. But we got Magic the Gathering anyways, so not much to do about that. We need to pass the turn and see if we can make a comeback. Keeping a 2-lander is quite dangerous anyways, but well, I feel I kind of had to. So what are they playing? I missed another land drop. Okay, time to scoop it. Let's just go to the next game then. Alright, here we go against Lost DK, and let's have a look what they are playing. Hopefully we have a hand that doesn't need to be mulligan for once, and this looks okay. Hope I don't get mana screwed again. That was quite sad in that last game. Ill Goose. Alright, we're up against a sacrifice deck, and there's a land. Good. So put the Stitcher Supplier down first. There's a Creeping Chill. Let's activate that right away. The best case scenario, you mill one of these together with a Creeping Chill, but that wasn't the case right now. Let's see, what do they put down next? They have 3 mana available to them. They don't put anything down. Alright then, so I will put this down next then, so I can avoid paying life. Mill 2 cards, let's see. Okay, there's a Glowspore Shaman. Not too great, but will do. And they just produce some food, that's also fine. So what do I want to do now? I guess I want to get Tymaret down, but I can also play the Silversmote Ghoul. I think I'll go for the Tymaret Calls to Death. So let's put this one down, continue milling some more. There's a Craterhoof Behemoth, and let's get rid of one of those Glowspore Shamans and attack in with both of these. If they want to buff the Gilded Goose to kill something of mine, I'm completely fine with that. Okay, Woestrider. Woestrider's gonna block the Stitcher Supplier then. That's okay, and we still get 2 damage in there, and we mill some more. There's a Narcomoeba, yes please, let's put that one onto the battlefield. Can I somehow get more of these ghouls into the graveyard? I guess next turn I could actually sacrifice this one in response to this trigger, which can be quite nice. And what are they doing? Ooh, even more Cocos. So there is a Llanowar Elf, and I need to be careful that I don't lose my zombies this turn. And they scoop it. Why is everybody scooping? Okay then, everybody is scooping today. Well, let's go on to the next game. Alright, I just faced 3 sacrifice decks in a row. Wasn't fun, I couldn't do anything. Once a Mayhem Devil comes down and everything in your deck is pretty much at 1 toughness, everything gets murdered. This gets murdered, all these get murdered, and let's have a look. This doesn't look great with the Narcomoeba, but I'll keep it. Not fun at all. I really hope this is something that's not some weird John Sacrifice deck. I'm really tired of all the John Sacrifice matchups, and it seems the game keeps putting me up against that specific deck. I don't know why it's doing it, but it's extremely annoying. So let's put the Stitch Supplier number 2 down. See what else we can mill this time. There is a thing called Forerunner or something like that. Yeah, End-Raze Forerunners in the graveyard, so now we just need to build our board a bit and bring that one back at 5 mana. Gutter Bones comes down, and let's see, I think I will go for the Tymaret now. There we go. Start milling a bit, so we mill 3. There's a ghoul, I like to see it in the graveyard. Let's get rid of the Mire Triton for the time being. And next time we can put this ghoul down, and in response we can sacrifice and then get it back at the end of the turn after we gain the life from the Tymaret itself. Or maybe they are just going to be nasty. That's fine, we can also be nasty if needed. Pawn of Mayhem comes down and we mill some more stuff. Having that in the graveyard is quite good. So let's get rid of the Glowspore Shaman for the time being. And I could do this now. Does that even win us the game? I don't know. I'm gonna do it. Let's just bring that one back. And they scoop it. Nobody lets me do the combo. Well, I will take it. Should I do one more quick game? Maybe I will. Let's do one more quick game and hopefully it's not a sacrifice deck. There we go. Up against Antimatter. And let's have a look what they are playing. Hopefully not sacrifice like I said. And oh, this is a bad hand. Oh, why are all the hands so bad? This is also not great, but I will keep it. Let's put that Narcomoeba back into the deck and isolated Chapel go, I guess. Ooh, we have a Mire Triton next turn. Maybe I should go for the Triton instead for mana efficiency. We're up against elves. Yeah, let's go ahead with this. Glowspore Shaman is in the graveyard. I hope I can draw a third land next turn so I can Tymaret Calls to that. And another elf. And another elf. And I don't think they are done yet. I mean, a deck like this is so slow when you look at all the nonsense something like this is doing, right? I mean, how can you go up against this? They played out their entire hand in 3 turns. What can you do against that? Please let me know down below. What do you do against decks like this? I mean, I could run board-wise, but look, I'm at 3 mana now, and they have a field like that. Like, what would I even target in a situation like this? Yeah, no attacks, but this is sickening. This is just not normal. I guess this is the type of magic that Wizard of the Coast wants to push now, but this is just not normal in my opinion to have to play against games like this. I mean, they can activate this one as well with, so what's the point, right? What's the point in even trying here? I'll do it like this. I mean, they are gonna activate Elsa or Shepherd anyways, and yeah, what can I do? They banned Field of the Dead, but all this kind of nonsense, there should have been more bans in my opinion, and this kind of stuff just shouldn't happen in a Magic the Gathering setting. And I know I've showcased this deck on my channel as well, and I had a lot of fun playing it, and I feel it's okay when something like this is released to have fun with it for a while and then move on. But clearly a lot of people get stuck with this kind of strategies, and this is the kind of speed that we need to start matching. But I feel the way that decks like this play, it's almost like you're playing a modern deck or a legacy deck with some standard plus deck, like in this case. So I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of keeping this kind of deck in the format, but oh well, I don't work for Wizard of the Coast, I'm only a content creator, so I don't have a say in these kind of matters. Let's move on to one more game, I guess. I don't want to end the series on a loss. There we go, I hope we get to go first against Kinkaku 0721. Now let's have a look. 2 Mire Tritons and Burial Rites, not too crazy, but I'll keep it. We get to go first, which is quite valuable as well. I might put this into the field tapped in case we get an untapped land source, then we don't need to shock stuff in, and hopefully this game we get to do something fun. Let's put a nice dog on the battlefield. Where is there he is. So put this into the field tapped and pass the turn. Fatal Passage into a swamp, there we go. Mire Triton, go. And they crack the land. So we got a ghoul in the graveyard, that's quite nice. If we can hit a... Okay, so... Let's put the Lotleth Giant into the graveyard then as a reanimation target for later on. And there goes the second Mire Triton. Okay then, put this into the field depth and attack in right there. Young Pyromancer is something we will have a bit of difficulty with dealing. Oh, they sacrifice it. And they don't get the trigger, that's strange. And they decide to scoop it, well... Alright, I will take it. It's not an impressive victory to end the video on, but it's a victory nonetheless. I hope you have fun with this particular deck. I think there is some potential in it, but I might need to change it up a bit. Maybe add some stuff like Coco and put the main focus on getting those Silversmote Ghouls back onto the battlefield and milling those... What are they called again? The Creeping Chills, but it's a fun deck. If you want to support me, there is a Patreon link down in the description, as well as a donation link, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and if not, see you all next time with the next video. Take care.